Hi, it's Kino. I'm here on Maui Island in beautiful Hawaii. I'm overwhelmed by the absolute beauty of this location. I'm from Florida, which has beautiful beaches, but it's super flat in Florida. If you look behind me, there's amazing mountains and beautiful ocean, so I'm super thankful to be here. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at a particular movement that you need in your pelvis for back bends, and this movement involves tilting your pelvis a little bit forward with a careful application of the iliac crest. And I want to do this with you in a posture from second series in the Ashtanga Yoga method called Shalabasana. So even if you're not doing the second series, this will help you get this movement inside of the pelvis. Now what we want to do is tip the pelvis slightly forward, and what this will allow you to do is actually pivot right in the hip joints and allow you to really get length through the lower back. You have to be careful when you do this so you're not crunching the lower back, but instead creating length and elongation. Now a lot of people are afraid of using their back muscles and back bending, but you actually want to use and engage your back muscles as much as possible, except that rather than squeezing the vertebra together, you're going to use your back muscles to create length and space in your lower back. Okay, so let's just give it a try. You want to start off by lying on your stomach. So get onto your stomach, and we want to set up the pelvis nice and nice and relaxed. So a way to do that is to internally rotate the thighs. So you want to grab hold of your thighs, and you can do it with your hands, you can do it just with your thighs, and roll the thighs inward, which is going to look like you're pulling the thighs outward, but because we're facing down, they're actually rolling towards each other. So you're going to roll your thighs inward, and then your heels should kind of spread apart. But you don't want to sickle your feet out to the side, just let them spread gently apart. Now in order to connect this movement into the pelvis, we need to make sure that we understand our connection of the pelvis and the legs. So we're going to start off with the legs. First thing to do, rest on your elbows, and if you're not comfortable resting on your elbows, you can place the forehead on the ground. Now I like to rest on the elbows, but if you feel any compression in your upper back, definitely put your forehead on the ground. Okay, let's start off with the legs. First thing you're going to do is keep your toes on the ground. So listen, toes on the ground, and then kneecaps only off of the ground. When you lift your kneecaps, feel like you're pulling your kneecaps into the pelvic floor. Once that happens, I want you to engage the pelvic floor. So all of the space between the sitting bones and all of the space between the tailbone and the pubic bone, contract and pull into the pelvis. Now that very motion will start to tip your pelvis forward and into the ground. Next thing you want to do is press the toes firmly into the ground. Now the goal of this movement is not to lift your legs, but to really feel that tilt in the pelvis. Now, in order to really do that, we're going to feel our iliac crest, which is those front bones of the pelvis. And you can do that with your chest off of the ground, or again, with your head really planted on the ground. So we're going to find the iliac crests. Find the bones of the pelvis and push your fingers there. Now, you're going to press the bones of the pelvis into your hands, so they're going to press into the ground. That's going to lift your legs fully off the ground, and it's going to help your pelvis tilt forward and into the ground. And it's that tilt forward that's going to give you freedom through your sacrum, freedom through your lower back. So enjoy that sensation. Firm thighs. And if your head's on the ground, it's just right there. And we're really concentrating on that movement in the pelvis. Stay for a few breaths and then let it relax down. Let's try one more time, okay? So if you're starting off here, again, kneecaps raise. As soon as the kneecaps raise, pull it into the pelvic floor. So that's all the space between the sitting bones and between the tailbone and the pubic bone. This is also a great easy warm-up for your back. It can help heal your back muscles. Because it's a long back bend, we're not going to try to make it, super deep. Then press the toes into the ground. That corrects any of that sickling with the ankle. Then we're going to find the iliac crest. So we find the iliac crests. There they are, the front bones of the pelvis. And then keeping the pelvic floor firm, keeping the thighs firm, press the iliac crest right into the hands, right into the fingers, and you'll notice that the sacrum tips forward and into the pelvis in a movement called nutation, which I'll talk to you a little bit more about in a moment. So just feel that nice and firm, and you're not pressing the pubic bone down, you're pressing the iliac crest down. Eventually the pubic bone gets less weight in it, and the front bones of the pelvis, the iliac crest, really take the weight. And then all the way down. Okay, ready to try? Without the fingers, it's a little bit harder, okay? So now, start off in the same way, except we're not going to put our fingers right into the iliac crest. Knees off of the ground, pull it into the pelvic floor, press the toes down, then find the iliac crests, and you can do it from here. Press them down. Now you want to be careful. See what just happened with my old pattern in back bending. You want to make sure that your butt muscles don't squeeze to lift the legs so the butt remains soft. And you can always check, you have your hands, you can check, is my butt soft or is it squeezed? If the butt is squeezed, come back down and start again. Let's actually start all over, okay? So here we go. Kneecaps raise, toes press into the ground, iliac crest press into the ground, the butt is soft, And you can lie down forward, or again, you can be on the elbows, and this just really helps you target how to properly tilt the pelvis, lift your pelvis with its own strength. And what you should feel is there's some movement right around the SI joints and some activation in the lower back muscles right here. And that's what we want to do. That's what will help strengthen your back. You're not trying to crank yourself into the posture. You're just tilting the pelvis with the strength of the back muscles, the strength of the pelvic floor, and leaving the butt as soft as possible. After a few breaths, all the way down. Okay, so that's a really good technique. Nearly fell right there. That's a really good technique to help you build the awareness of how to tip the pelvis forward into nutation. That's going to take you deeper into your back bends and help you get the technique that will help you, go safely into the posture. Now, we didn't do the full posture of Shalabasana there. That was just a little nice movement to help you get that correct tilt in the pelvis. Now, the movement called nutation means that the front ridge of the sacrum tips forward and into the pelvis. So that little exercise that we just did, it's a great way to learn that. And as long as you don't care about, how high you lift your legs and you focus all your attention on the work inside of the pelvis, then you'll be able to really feel the technical awareness of the posture. So I hope that helps you deepen your back bends. Thanks so much for watching.